have almost an organic style of skating. Deep, fluid edges, smooth movement. I'm sure a sure bet for the future.
And here are the standings entering the free dance. As expected, Grishchuk and Platov are in the lead, ahead of their rig mates Krivlova and Ovsyannikov after the original dance. Canada's Shae, Bourne and Bourne Kraatz are in third following compulsories and the original dance. And they continue to take some risks, choosing modern music for their free dance. Deficit already before they start with the music?
I think they had a problem earlier in the season because they didn't have a beat in that opening section, but they've added that now, so they should be okay. This is a nice lift.
I watch them practice when they're out there, and in practice they seem to really enjoy the ice. It's almost as if the ice is their friend, which is it's a great feeling to have because you don't have this feel when you're going out.
Well, you talked about their organic style, and they were telling me that they do feel freedom when they are on the ice.
Yeah, and you can tell that they have lovely fluid deep edges, which is definitely what the judges want to see. I think they could possibly choreographically they could experiment a lot more. They have some really interesting movements like this. They've termed them hydroblading, which are deep knee moves, which they've kind of developed themselves. Here's another one coming up.
Well, the audience certainly loves it.
Yeah, it's a real crowd pleaser. I think they have to be careful that they're not just using them as tricks, that they're just placed in there. I think they've got to come from the choreography. They've got to develop into that move.
Quite different pieces of music, which leads you to believe they don't really have a flow or a theme throughout, which, as we were saying earlier, I think they need to find their direction a little more because they're so competent as skaters. There really could be something for the future there.
And at 20 and 24 years of age, they have a lot of years ahead of them.
Oh yes, definitely.
So we have time on the side. They have a pleasing presence on the ice as well. It's not too aggressive, it's not overly dramatic. And I enjoy watching them. As I say, I think there's a lot of room for development. I think they are going to develop. They're going to take this last two seasons and the experience that they've gained. They're going to turn it around and come out stronger next year.
Does it seem more like social dance to you as opposed to ballroom dance interpretation?
I'm not quite sure what it is. As we said, you know, it's something quite new. It's a new style. This is one of the specialities, as we've just seen. Very difficult move.
So I think they'll be pleased with that routine and pleased to get through it. They look like they enjoyed it. I think it's the best that they could have done it. Here's one of the moves. Now that can either be interpreted as a lift, and if it was a lift, it would be illegal because he's lifting her above his shoulders with his hands. But as an assisted jump, it's not illegal.
This is their famous hydroblading. See, he's got his weight on her leg and her body.
La première note pour le mérite technique. La deuxième note pour Victor Kraatz.
Let's see what the judges think of Shae Bourne and Victor Kraatz. Their first set of marks for technical merit. What do you think?
That's a good set of marks, especially as they're first out, and I can't see they've made too many deductions for any of their new moves, the hydroblading moves, so it probably means they've been accepted.
It's interesting that there's plenty of room for their competitors to move upon them, though. There's still 4 places left.
These marks, of course, account for 50% of their final mark.
Yeah, when it all comes down to it at the end of the day, it all comes down to the 3 nets.